Whoa there, pal. You better slow down, or you'll get blown up like the rest of the idiots who thought they'd scavenge in Boomer territory. Now that I've got your attention, might you be interested in a little information? It'll cost you, but it's well worth the investment. Whoa, simmer down. I'll tell you, I'm a gambler and a scavenger. I've made some cash from gambling and some cash from reclaiming goods that are no longer being used. Now, do you want my help or not? Oh, lordy, lordy. You haven't heard of the Boomers? What rock have you been living under? They're a bunch of artillery-slinging, grenade-lobbing odd jobs camping out in Nellis. Wander into their territory and you're as good as mincemeat. There is a way, and I'll tell you. For a little wager. Well, I know the secret to get past. If you give me the caps, I'll tell you. If you make it back alive, I'll double your money. Okay, here you go. That page has the details, but it's all in the timing as you move from building to building. I'll be here watching, so I'll know if you've made it to the gate or not. Remember, there's 600 caps in it if you make it.
Hold it right there. Don't you move. How the hell did you survive that bombardment? But I had you zeroed in the whole time. Nobody's that fast. Move a muscle now and I'll blow you to pieces. Then just stay where you are. Raquel will be here any second.
I'll take this from here. I'm Raquel, Master-at-Arms for the Nellis homeland. Mother Pearl, our eldest, wishes to speak to you. As I said, she is our eldest. Mother Pearl has lived at Nellis from the start, and has the wisdom of her age. She said that this day would come, and that any savage to reach our gate should be brought to her. I oversee the security of the Nellis homeland, from the coordination of its defense to the training and fitness of its population. I wasn't the one firing the howitzers. If you want to see how good I am at killing savages, I can show you. Or you can accept Mother Pearl's invitation. It's your choice. Follow close and mind your behavior.
Welcome, child. Took your sweet time getting here, didn't you? I've been waiting a good 5 years for an outsider to come along and visit. Prophecy. Do we look like a bunch of religious idiots? I just hoped a savage, outsider, sorry, would make it to our gates before one of those armies out there comes knocking. That's right, child. Mother Pearl knows a storm is gathering. Times are changing. Maybe time for us to change a little too. Oh, so many ways. Small ones to begin with, so we can get used to what it's like to have a outsider around and about. Should that go well, maybe you can help in big ways, too. We'll have to see. You have to keep in mind that you're our first contact with the outside world since I was barely a woman. Seclusion has kept us safe, but the world around us is changing. Neon lights in the distance, patrolling robots, soldiers, My youngers think our guns can keep out the world. But I think we need to let it in, just a little, or become its victim. You're that little bit of the world, child. Welcome to Nellis. You picked a good time to stop by, for we're swimming in problems. My youngers can tell you all about it. Raquel could use help with the bug problem. Duck Argyle has wounded he's tending to. And Loyal and Jack might be looking for help with some repairs. Or you could just go see Pete at the museum and hear the story of our people. All you have to do there is listen. Come and go as you like, help or don't help, I leave it up to you. But I hope you'll show my youngers that not every outsider needs to be blown up.
Hey, boss. Is my jaw still attached? Good. Can I get some help to keep it that way?
Jumping Jesus on a pogo stick. You're the first one to make it through alive, let alone manage a return trip. Yep. Here are your caps. Sorry about that. Poor memory. Here you go.
I know Mother Pearl is letting you wander Nellis as you please, outsider, but I have patients to tend to. I have 3 patients here who were gravely injured fighting those giant ants in the generator building a few days ago. I've stabilized their wounds, but they're in bad shape. Do you have medical training? If what you say is true, you can do us a world of good. I thought that man was done for, but you brought him around. That was some fine doctoring. I could learn a thing or two from you. Excellent treatment. I hadn't thought of that. Yes, outsider? Those men owe you their lives. Seems we could learn a thing or two from you savages, when it comes to medicine at least.
Hey. You're the outsider. Mother Pearl sent word that you'd be stopping by. You must be eager to hear the story of our people. Me? I'm Pete, keeper of the story. I know I seem kind of young. I was the apprentice keeper of the story until a couple months ago, but old Keeper Don, well, whiskey and landmines don't go together. So it's up to me. I bet you want to know everything about us. Over at the workshop, Loyal and Jack are always building something. The Loyal may not be too happy to see your kind running around Nellis. Wonderful. I'm sure you've noticed the mural on the wall of this hut. Shall I tell you what it all means? Excellent. Imagine you're the first outsider to ever hear our tale. Ages ago, long before I was born, we lived underground. Everyone had guns, but the Overseer wouldn't let us explode anything, not even a hand grenade. We left and wandered the wastes. There were savages with knives. We blew them up with frag mines and grenades, burned them with flamethrowers. It was neat, but there was a downside. For every 43.6 savages we killed, we lost one of our own. We needed a new home. We needed Nellis. Here we have prospered and multiplied. Here our mighty guns destroy any savages who might try to harm us before they can even reach our gates. Well, until... But Not saying you want to harm us or you're a savage, but anyways. Nellis has revealed many secrets. It has taught us how to fly the bombers once based here, and it has taught us where to find one. And that is our story so far. For this last image is our future. To restore the bomber, to fly the open skies in armored safety, raining high explosive ordnance upon ignorant savages. This is our destiny. I'm pleased that you listened to the entire story. Perhaps there are details you'd like to know more about. Let me know. Now that you know the story of our people, you must have all sorts of questions. Ask away. So you know about the vaults? Yes, we lived in one of those. Ours was numbered 34. In our vault, everyone had guns, but the overseer wouldn't let you fire off any of the really fun ones. I guess all the little pops and bangs at the firing ranges just got boring after a while. And at Nellis, we found it. We haven't detonated any atomic warheads since before I was born, but otherwise, it's do as you will. Anything else you want to know? Several automatic warheads detonate here 100 years ago, leaving the base highly radioactive. The savages of the waste, ignoramuses, all avoided Nellis by habit. That's exactly right. You're very knowledgeable for a Sav, an outsider. Anything else you want to know? Nellis is a completely self-sufficient community. We draw water from Lake Mead, solar arrays provide power, and we grow our own crops. Indeed we do. Very impressive. Anything else you want to know? You're right, they weren't here when we discovered Nellis. We found the guns at a huge weapon depot called Area 2, many miles from here. It took many weeks to drag the guns and their ammunition back to Nellis, and it was the last time any of us set foot beyond our homeland. Thank you so much. I'll be sure to pass that on. Anything else you want to know? Once we restore power, we learned that some elaborate chairs we've been sleeping in were actually virtual reality simulators. We believe they were used to train combat pilots. We used them extensively. I alone have shot down over 500 Chinese Zion 85 fighters. Before you ask, I'm afraid there's no way you can be allowed to use the simulators. They're for our use only. Sorry. Thank you for being so understanding. Anything else you want to know? Loyal found a file somewhere on the base with magazine articles, photographs, a map even. It seems that a bomber, apparently the 29th of its kind, crashed in Lake Mead on July 21st, 1948. Just imagine, that's over 300 years ago. The photograph shows that it was basically intact, and the map tells us exactly where to find it, except we haven't left Nellis in decades. Yes, in fact, that's exactly what Loyal has planned to do. You should go talk to him. I wish everyone were just as interested in our story as you are. Maybe I should act out the battles, or learn how to throw my voice. See ya.
Hey there, mister. Can you help me find Mr. Cuddles? Mr. Cuddles is my teddy. I lost him, and I don't remember where. Thanks. Let me know when you find him.
I've heard the Legion's planning to unleash their best men against us.
Hi again. Have you found Mr. Cuddles? Oh, thank you so much. I'll never lose you again, Mr. Cuddles.
So you're the outsider. Lived your whole life out there, huh? Wow. I always thought you savages probably spoke a different language. But I hear you sound like us. Me? I work with Loyal. Mostly electronics work and robotics. Keeping the old technologies alive, right? Loyal's a great man, but he's getting on in years. so a younger's gotta learn everything he knows. That'd be me. The man knows how to fix and build just about everything that was ever made. It's not easy keeping up with him. If you help him recover the lady, I figure it's been a nice day. Yeah, a real nice day. Thanks. Sometimes I talk too much. I guess you already know that. What I could use is some scrap metal. It may not sound exciting, but around here we have to recycle every rivet and plate. The other thing, you being from the outside and all, well, I guess you'd call it a personal matter, but, well, forget it. That must be nice, sharing yourself like that, not being embarrassed or anything. Well, the thing is, there's this girl. Oh, you can't miss her. She has short red hair and she's the most beautiful woman who ever lived. You'd really talk to her for me? What if she feels the same way? What if she comes here like you did? What if she gets blown up? What if she doesn't like me? Oh, geez. I better just let you handle it. I'm better with machines. They don't make my stomach queasy like this. That would be amazing. As in, I would thank you forever.
Hey there. Here's the rest of the payment I promised you back in Good Springs. Alice McLafferty runs the Crimson Caravan. You can find her over in the main office. I'm getting ready to run a caravan up towards Utah. There's a town called New Canaan which is supposed to be pretty prosperous. The Crimson Caravan doesn't have any branches out that way, so it'll be up to me to get things started. I'll see you around.
Boss, the pain from my wounds. It's starting to outweigh the pain from my arthritis.
You should go talk to Blake or Alice. They handle most of our contact with visitors. I watch all sorts of things with my binoculars. Who wants to know? And why? Nice-looking blonde boy? I always wondered if he was watching me back. What's he like? Oh, I've just got to meet him. Is there any way the Boomers would let me visit Nellis? This is so exciting. Let me know how it turns out.
How is your visit with us going, stranger? Well, well, this is welcome news. Who is she? She's with those traders? They've tried to contact us before, but I'm not interested in trading with greedy savages. This presents a bit of a problem. Jack isn't allowed to leave Nellis, and I doubt she would make it through the artillery alive. I suppose Jack deserves a chance at love. You can tell Jack she has a free pass to enter, but he is responsible for her actions. Do not make me regret this decision, outsider. Later.
Have you seen her? The redhead of my dreams? She does? You mean it? That's incredible. What happens next? Can she come here? How do we make sure she doesn't get blown up? Should I talk to the gunners or to Pearl? Here, take this boomer outfit. I'll let the gunners know she's coming, and not to shoot at her.
Hello again. How's your boomer friend? I was hoping you would. What's going on? Have they agreed to my safety yet? There's one more thing. I have a work contract with the Crimson Caravan, and if I walk away, I lose the wages they owe me. Could you do just one more thing for me and talk to Alice McLafferty about it? I know if I do it, she'll just say no. I'd hate to lose the money.
I've heard the Legion's planning to unleash their best men against us.
Welcome to the Crimson Caravan Company New Vegas branch. What may I do for you? Ah, yes. Her infatuation with a boomer she's never met. It's a small camp. Word gets around. She's aware she's breaking her contract, which is undoubtedly why she sent you to talk to me instead of coming herself. Janet is free to leave, but she forfeits the wages she's owed. That's the price of contract breaking. Take it or leave it. Being sentimental is not how I made the Crimson Caravan so successful, but I'll allow it, just this once. Janet will be paid what she's owed. Consider it a gift.
I've heard the Legion's planning to unleash their best men against us.
Have you spoken with McLafferty yet? That's great! I can't believe you went through all this trouble for me. Thank you.
Hello. It's great to finally meet you.
Hi there. It's great to meet you as well.
I'm glad you made it out here. You're even more stunning up close than you were at a distance.
And you're even more handsome up close. Do you think it'll be okay if I hang around here for a little while, so we can get to know each other better?
Of course it would. I'll have you set up with some quarters with some of the other women. Thank you for getting Janet to Nellis. I've never been so happy in my entire life. Don't get blown up.
Thank you for getting me here. Jack is a great guy.
I hope Pearl knows what she's doing, letting you wander around Nellis as you please. If that's so, how about you look into repairing the solar arrays on the roof of the generator building? Nothing too complicated about it, but it's a long ways to walk my old bones, and there's been that ant problem over near there. You can't miss the array. It's on top of the generator building smack dab in the middle of Nellis, between the two runways. Ha! If we had spare parts, do you think I'd be asking you to fix the damn things? That's rich. No, we ran out of spares a while back, and Jack and I have been doing our best to patch the arrays up as best we can. Sadly, we're at our wits' end. There have to be spare parts somewhere around the wasteland, but I just don't know where to direct you. You may have noticed we don't get out much. All right, what's on your mind? Later.
That's a good thing to see, huh, boss? That loyal guy. He's getting up there in years, but he still finds a way to make himself useful to his people. If you ask me, that's better than withering away all alone or holding on to some faded piece of glory from your past. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Old history, boss. After the fire, I knew my sister and I couldn't stay at Hidalgo Ranch anymore. The refugees still wanted me dead. They even put a bounty on me. I remember how scared Rafaela was. I told her if she came with me, we'd see the vaqueros. She used to love the rodeo, especially the trick riders. We figured maybe we could find help in Mexico City. We were young. We didn't know what had happened, really. We didn't understand about the bombs. I don't think it was as hard hit as DC or Bakersfield, but it was bad enough. By the time we got there, the city was a radioactive ruin. Still, the city was full of looters, already forming into the beginnings of raider tribes. Crime was bad before the war, but now it was a nightmare. We were living like scavengers, scraping by on what little food we could find, always looking for medicine for my burns. And then, of course, the radiation started to kick in, turning me into this handsome devil you see before you. You're a poet of understatement, boss. But there were moments it was almost worth it. I still remember finding that novelty costume shop. I was just looking around for something I could slice up to wrap my burns when I saw the vaquero outfit hanging on the rack, like it hadn't been touched. I took it, not like anybody else needed it, you know, and wore it back to our camp. Rafaela laughed, for the first time since the bombs had fallen. I started to build up a legend. Sometimes it headed off trouble, but most of the times it just started more. Young punks looking to prove themselves would come looking for me, but my eyes were sharp and my guns were quick. For a while, it seemed like we might even survive there, until Rafaela. She went out to find some food one day. I was sick, so I stayed at our camp. I guess it must have been the beginning of radiation poisoning. Anyway, it was supposed to be safe, but some raiders happened to pass through where she was scavenging. I won't speak of what they did to her. When I found her body, the only way to recognize her was this funny little scar on her knee from when she was a little girl. Terrible doesn't begin to cover it, boss. I led my whole family down. First the ranch, now Rafaela. I was the last Tejada. I guess maybe I went a little crazy then. I took my guns and went back to that market. I didn't have many bullets, but I had enough. After the raiders were dead, I salvaged what I could from the store. I was tired. I just wanted to be alone forever. I left Mexico City behind. I made my way out to the Gulf Coast. Eventually, I found an old Petro Chico refinery nobody had claimed. I stayed there for a little while, and I thought a lot about my life. I thought about the guns I'd lived by, and what they'd gotten me. I decided my guns hadn't gotten me anything, and it was time to give it up. I took off the old vaquero outfit and put on a Petro Chico jumpsuit. The name tag said Miguel, so I started using the name myself. Eventually, I made it to Arizona. That's another story, boss.
Hello, outsider. Need something? An impressive piece of work. I'll keep that in mind if jobs come up in the future. Don't get blown up.
Mother Pearl's instructions are clear. You can move freely around Nellis, and artillery spotters have orders not to fire on you. These are extraordinary privileges. Don't abuse them. Long story short, the power failed a few days ago because giant ants have tunneled into the generator room and set up a nest. I led a team down to exterminate them, but there were so many of them. We lost. 2 killed, 3 wounded. Personally, I think it's more than a savage can handle. But if you want to kill those ants and switch the power back on, feel free. Sure, anyone can. But there's more than a few down there. See for yourself. One other thing. The ants must be eating gunpowder from the munitions down there, or something. They exploded when hit by a flamethrower. One of us was using a laser pistol. Same thing. Bullets seem okay, just don't hit the artillery shells. Loyal's been working on some kind of weapon to use against them. Maybe you should check with him.
Good work with those solar arrays. I started building a sonic emitter that might do the trick, but it's useless without knowing the exact frequency that would kill the ants. Hot damn, you're right! It's a matter of boosting across those thresholds, not exact amplitude. You're smarter than you look. Just so happens I was testing it at 24,000 hertz, so it should be good to go. Place it near their nest and cross your fingers. Signal's too high for people to hear, so no harm done. But it might make you feel sick to your stomach.
Yeah, boss. I mean, if that fits with your schedule.
I see the power's back on. The ants are all dead? Maybe Pearl is right about you, because I don't know how you pulled that off. I'll tell Loyal to send someone down to clear out the eggs and repair the generators. Good work.
You have done well to earn the trust of my people, child. I believe the time has come for you to show your value in full. The people have come to accept having you around. Find Loyal and ask him about our people's fondest dream. He will tell you what to do next.
Pearl sent word saying it's all right to tell you about the lady in the water. Ain't nothing creepy about it. It's a term of respect. A long time ago, long before the war that killed just about everything that ever lived, a bomber crashed not far from here. A bomber was a flying contraption that could drop explosives down on anything it flew over. But anyway, moving on. This bomber crashed down in Lake Mead, pretty damn near intact. When we got to Nellis, see, I found this article in a magazine all about it. There was another B-29 around here, part of a museum. Couldn't fly, but had a lot of spare parts, see? Get where I'm going? Since I was a young man, I've dreamed of raising that lady from the lake and bringing her back to life. What do you say? It's at the bottom of Lake Mead. I'll mark its location on your Pip-Boy map. I know it does, but I tell you it ain't. I've worked it out so it's simple. Good. Here's the deployable ballast. Go find the plane, attach the ballast, and hit the button. Might try holding your breath. If that doesn't sound good enough, talk to Jack. He was working on a rebreather once.
I've never been so happy in my entire life. I just need some parts from a pressure cooker to create a hermetic seal for the rebreather. That's a brilliant idea. I can put that together right now. Here you go, a new rebreather. Don't get blown up.
It's going to be a dream come true once you've raised that bomber from Lake Mead. That's tremendous. I'll transmit instructions to the robots to start packing up the plane to bring it back to Nellis. I just told you, the robots are going to handle it. They'll break the plane down into pieces and move it up from Colville Bay in one shot. Exactly. We'll be shelling an unoccupied location in outer Vegas to get their attention elsewhere. By the time they realize they aren't under attack, the plane and the bots will be long gone. The kids wish we were shelling a real target, but Pearl thinks it's wise not to start up a war just as the lady has risen. Hey, I'd better get rolling. Jack and I have a lot of work ahead of us.
Hello, friend. How can Mother Pearl be of help today? What you have done for us is a miracle, child. You have fulfilled the only dreams we ever had outside our walls. You are a trusted friend of us all. If there is ever a way for us to help you, child, tell me, and I will make it so. Of course, my child. After all that you have done for us, we would love to help you in the upcoming battle. After all the training in virtual reality, the young ones would relish an opportunity to put their skills to battle. We'll be there when you need us.
Welcome to the New Vegas Medical Clinic. I'm a fully qualified physician and can fix whatever is wrong with you for a reasonable fee. If you've got the caps, I've also got several implants available to enhance your physical attributes. I have several basic implants available that can enhance your physical abilities, make you faster, smarter, stronger, that sort of thing. I've also got 2 much more expensive implants. One's a subdermal implant that will make you more resistant to damage. The other implant induces a mild regenerative effect. Your wounds will practically heal before your eyes. One other thing I forgot to mention. Your body may be able to handle only a limited number of implants. The healthier you are, the more implants I'll be able to give you. Now, what surgery are you considering? That would be the Nemean subdermal armor. It's a bit pricey, 8,000 caps, but the implant causes your skin cells to be bolstered with iron. It won't make you bulletproof, but it will make you a little harder to injure. Have a seat in the auto dock. This will take a few hours. You're back. Do you need medical attention? All right, let me do a quick test to make sure your body can handle another implant. All right, you're healthy enough to handle another one. Which surgery are you considering? The optics enhancer, as the name suggests, gets attached directly to your optic nerve. The price is 4,000 caps. That's all right. All right. Have a seat in the auto dock. This will take a few hours.
Ooh! Suddenly I feel all tingly, and I find I've got a rocket launcher. How sweet of you to notice, Sugar. I've been upgraded to the Mark II software, and it's peachy having these high explosive weapons fully accessible. You do? Why, that's just wonderful. I'll take them and put them with the rest of the collection.
Hey, pal. You dig my new hat? I've been making some good money lately, and figured I'd treat myself. Exactly what I was thinking. It's nice to have a little style, you know? But you're probably here for more of my special commodity, and luckily for you, I haven't been idle since we last spoke. However, all that hard work on my part means that the price has gone up. And a tip now. You game? There was a rumor a while back that the White Glove Society was really an all-ghoul gang, which is why they wear those weird masks of theirs. What do you think? Would I look good in a mask? Maybe I'd make more caps. I got more where that came from. Want another? Ever hear of the gun runners? They sell just about every kind of firearm you can imagine. And some you probably couldn't. I got more where that came from. Want another? People in Freeside generally fall into one of 2 categories. Those who've been here all their lives call themselves locals. When people from the NCR and other places started pouring in, the locals began referring to them as squatters, and the name stuck. The locals blame the squatters for the scarcity of resources in Freeside, and the squatters blame any act of violence against them on the locals. They're both right to some extent, and violent outbreaks between the two are all too common these days. I got more where that came from. Want another? He might not look it, but Ralph for Mick and Ralph's is no slouch with a keyboard. I've heard he's helped reprogram several robots in his time. I got more where that came from. Want another? I've heard the Garretts over at the Atomic Wrangler are having a hard time collecting some money owed to them. An enterprising person like yourself might be able to make some caps helping them with their little problem. What do you say? Want another tip? The Strip is run by the three families who owe their allegiance to Mr. House. When he first showed up, he gave the local tribes the choice of working with him or getting the hell out of his way. Given how things turned out, I know which way I'd have gone. But hindsight's 20/20, right? I got more where that came from. Want another? Traders have been griping for a while now about I-15 being too dangerous to travel. I'd steer clear of it unless you're armed to the teeth. I got more where that came from. Want another? Drugs are everywhere in Freeside, and even people you might not expect have become addicts. Jacob Hoff, for instance. That man was a brilliant chemist before he picked up the habit. Now, just another junkie. That King Pacer's a fan of Jet, too. Though I heard one of the followers talking about it being dangerous for him. Something about his heart. Do yourself a favor and stay away from that stuff, okay? I got more where that came from. Want another? Caught a rumor the other day that some of the clientele over at the Wrangler have been making some rather strange requests. Stuff like weirdos wanting the services of ghouls and such. I almost have half a mind to volunteer myself, sexy beast that I am. That one was pretty good, right? How about another? I've heard people passing through mention some kind of underground fights pitting creatures of the waste against one another for sport. And when I say underground, that's their word I'm using, not my own. Hey, listen, I'd love to sell you some more info, but you've tapped everything I've heard lately. Come back in a few days. I'll put my ear to the ground and hopefully have heard a few more things by then.
I hear Benny went missing. I can't help but wonder what happened to him. I have some work I need handled. Back before we instituted the caps up front rule, we used to allow customers tabs. Well, needless to say, a few customers snuck out without paying their bills. We need someone to collect. The job would pay a percentage. If you bring all their debts back, we'll give you a cut of each. 25% is more than fair. It would add up to 150 caps if you bring them all in. All right, 50-50 it is. But you better bring back all of the caps. If we hear you crossed us, the next bounty hunter will be coming for you. Great. There are 3 people who need to be tracked down. A real mixed basket of fruits. Their names are Grex, Santiago, and Lady Jane. Grex is a bit cracked, but mostly harmless. Just don't mention anything about his lazy eye. He owes 138 caps and should still be around Freeside. Santiago is a suave son of a bitch, but a total pansy when it comes to fisticuffs. He owes 212 caps and should be around Freeside as well. Lady Jane fancies herself a high roller, but she's just another dirtbag NCR prospector. I'm not sure where to find her. I hear she's run goods for the followers of the Apocalypse in the past, but other locals might know more. She owes us 250 caps. Anything else you need?
Hey, man. Can you spare a few caps? Whoa, yeah. I guess the Garrett sent you after me? Look, I've got the caps right here. Just don't hurt me. I won't. Thanks for not killing me.
How are you today? Santiago is fabulous. Santiago does not owe anyone. Santiago is a Freeside VIP. Yes, indeed. Santiago is very important. I even have a discount in Mick and Ralph's. Perhaps you could use Santiago's discount. For 50 caps, Santiago will tell you the super secret code word to get a discount with Mick. 25 caps will do. Tell Mick Santiago sent you, and the code word is extravaganza. He will set you up. Sir, Santiago told you. Santiago has no debts. I didn't think she was upset enough to have me killed. Here are the caps, Sale. I do the Santiago Act to get out of paying for services every once in a while. I didn't think it could possibly get me killed. Bye.
You aren't the first poor sucker who's come in here saying that. We don't do discounts here. Sounds like you were ripped off. I go get your money back from Santiago.
Hello. Lovely to meet you. I haven't the time to speak to commoners such as yourself. Hello. In that case, I suppose you're here to collect. I apologize, but I simply do not have enough caps on me to cover the debt. If someone were to recover my caravan from that cave, I could easily pay in full, but who would bother with such a mess? Oh, you charming, wonderful hunk of a man. I agree. I cannot risk my reputation on such a paltry sum. Here is what I owe, paid in full. I may scrape a bit to get home to California, but I'm a resourceful woman. Here is the last known location of my caravan, if you feel like looking for it. Until we meet again, handsome.
I heard Benny sent his goons after you. You're one hell of a survivor to make it out of the tops alive. I don't care how you handled those lumps of human refuse, but you got the job done. We need you to hunt down another person. That son of a bitch McCaffrey stole a ton of caps and ran off to Vegas. I guess the fact that we farmed out his usual work to you pissed him off. No one steals from the Garrett twins. If you can kill that bastard and bring back as much as you can, you'll be paid very well. Good. Just stop on back when he's dead and you'll be rewarded handsomely. Bring his hat as proof of the kill.
Huh. So the Garretts sent you to track me down. What a joke. I'd rather not waste the ammo, kid, but if you insist, draw. Aha!
Some gamblers came in saying they'd seen you enter the Lucky 38. I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't know of any other living person who's been in there. Yes! Where's his hat? This is great news. No one screws with the Garrett twins and gets away with it. I need to find a place on the wall for this. And for your reward, here's 150 caps. I trust there were also some valuables on McCaffrey. Also, we would like to set you up with a room. You can have the corner room, rent-free. It was McCaffrey's. Now that he's dead, we're happy to let you use it. Thanks for helping us. Bye.
Things look to be building up on either side of the dam. This doesn't look good.
Things have been a lot better since you helped with those soldier boys. Thanks again. So, what can I do for you? I got Rex here from a salvager a few years ago. He was a little dinged up when I got him, but one of the followers fixed him right up. He's been acting peculiar for some time now. I took him to the followers and had him checked out, and they said his brain is bad or something. For now, but they said eventually he's gonna get worse. I don't know what to do. No, they said they don't have the tools to help him. I don't know. Maybe. If you found a way to help my poor Rex here, I'd be much obliged. Your best bet will be to talk to Julie Farkas over at the old Mormon fort north of here. Maybe you'll have better luck than I did.
Smoke rising from the east spells trouble. I hope the Legion isn't on the move. Rex? It breaks my heart every time I see him. He's such a good dog. Yes, a few months ago. We had to tell him there was nothing we could do. No, Rex's condition is way beyond anything we can handle. He requires brain surgery and some sophisticated cybernetics work, too. I didn't say that. While no one here has that kind of expertise, I do know of one man who might fit the bill. There's an old scientist named Dr. Henry who reportedly specializes in this sort of procedure. He'd probably be your best bet. Last I heard, he was living up in Jacobstown, far to the northwest. No problem. We have a good stock of Rataway at this point, but every extra bit helps. How much do you have to donate? Good to hear. Oh, by the way, I got a shipment of magazines from home I'd be willing to sell if you're interested. Take a look.
Things have been a lot better since you helped with those soldier boys. She said, what? Why didn't she just say so when I was there? Actually, come to think of it, I was pretty angry when I went down there. I vaguely recall something about upending a few tables, maybe knocking out one of her doctors. Anyway, that's incredible news. Only thing is, there's too much going on around here for me to make a trip like that. And I need all of my guys just to keep things settled here. You seem to be awfully interested in my boy Rex here, and you've done some good work for me already. I'll tell you what, you promised to get Rexy here to that doctor, and I'll lend him to you. What do you say? I can't thank you enough. Now, there's a few things you should know about old Rex here if you're going to be traveling together. First, he hates rats. Can't stand the things. Giant rats, mole rats, doesn't matter. He catches a whiff of one, and he's off like a shot after him. He's normally pretty obedient, but you might have to chase him some if he goes after one of the little varmints. Second, he doesn't like hats, or the people wearing them. Don't ask. I have no idea why. Maybe because it rhymes with rats. That should be it, though. Other than the occasional bad spot when his brain starts hurting him, that is. But I'm hoping you will see to that. I wish you both luck. Take care of my Rex now, you hear? Rex, this is your new master. Protect him as you would me.
Is there something else I can do for you? It's neural degradation. Biomed gel can only preserve a living brain for so long, so you'll need to find a replacement. I haven't left Jacobstown in years, but there was one woman in Novak, Gibson. I remember her living with a pack of hounds. Aside from her, I know that the Fiends and Caesar's Legion fight alongside dogs. There could be viable specimens among them, if you can get to them. Promising, but I won't be able to synthesize the drug anytime soon. I really should get back to my work.
So, you're back. Now, where did we leave off? Dr. Henry? Now there's a name I haven't heard in years. Hard to believe he's still alive. As for your request, it's a bit ghoulish if you ask me, but Ray is pretty old, and I'll probably have to put him down soon enough. As for the price for this favor, 700 caps sounds about right. Ray's like family, and I've got other dogs to take care of. He and I had joined up with the same caravan. Add in a lot of whiskey and, well, let's just say we got to know each other. I happen to disagree. 700 caps, and that's my one and only offer. All right, then.
You're the one Lucullus said would come. You'll find him waiting for you down at the docks. Very well. I'm an officer of the Legion of the rank Decanus. When we encamped, I commanded a contubernium of 8 legionaries. So I command what's left, under the wise leadership of Centurion Aurelius, of course. As much as their cowardice will allow, the profligates avoid open battle, but on good days we find one of their patrols. Their landmines have caused us more trouble than their marksmanship, which is lacking. A Legion outpost, what's it look like? We crossed the river when the profligates fled from Searchlight. From here, we stage raiding parties and process captures. Are we done, then? If they're more powerful than the profligates' landmines, by all means, show me how. Tin cans, gunpowder, scrap metal, and duct tape? We won't have any trouble finding those ingredients. That would be worth knowing, especially if we can then rearm and reuse them. If you have nothing to teach, don't make the offer. Volare. Awe, name your business. That would be worth knowing. The light is a button that can interrupt detonation. We were too busy throwing ourselves to the ground to figure that out. To rearm the mine, we'd just press the button again. Simple. The profligates will regret that we learned this. Volare.
Kaisar. A profligate bearing the mark of Kaisar. What is the world coming to? Cursor Lucullus is waiting for you with the barge at the docks. He will take you to the fort to speak with Kaisar. As much as the profligates' cowardice will allow, they haven't found the balls to attack us here, but we catch them out on patrols. With 2 contubernia at my command, I've killed and captured 4 times my numbers. The killing of profligates should never go unrewarded. I'll pay you a small sum per tag. Go see Decanus Severus when you have tags, in that case. He watches over our stores. Of course I am, you fool. I am a Centurion. When Rotface and Kulta drove the NCR from Searchlight by clever means, Caesar himself ordered me to set up this camp and harass the profligates. It's a modest presence, a single finger of the Legion reaching across the river's narrows. But with me here, it has an iron knuckle. It is the armor of a Centurion. You have the rare honor of beholding it unspattered by the blood of my inferiors. How many? Hardly a day's work, but then again, you're not Legion. Was there something else you wanted to bother me with? Volare.
So you're the visitor I've heard some of the legionaries talking about. If you're in the mood to trade, just say the word. I haven't had the pleasure. I have crossed paths with Legate Lanius, his second-in-command, however. It was unpleasant. He's the best the Legion has to offer, or so the legionaries say. Brute of a man, wears a fancy metal mask in a battle. He killed one of my pack Brahmins simply because it was in his way. I knew better than to complain about it, though. Shoot. No, sir. I'm an independent trader from Arizona. Not at all. They're my best customers. As long as you don't try to sell them chems or alcohol, they treat you fair. Hell, I don't even need to travel with guards most of the time in Legion territory. All the bandits are dead or run off. Between having to hire protection and getting slapped with taxes, it's more profitable to stick to Arizona and New Mexico. But I do cross the river from time to time when an opportunity comes along. All right. Be seeing you around.
If you're injured, I might have healing powder to spare. I never finished my training. The Legion saw to that when they overran my town. I do know basic first aid, but I've had to rely on tribal remedies to treat illnesses and injuries. Healing powders and all that. I'm always running low on Xanderroot. Plenty of Brock flowers, though. Oh, I've been using 2 roots per flower. Thanks to you, I'll be able to create twice as much healing powder per day. For sale? I'm a slave, not a merchant. I could give you some supplies every day, though. You are, after all, a friend of the Legion. What do you want to know? A small town in New Mexico. The Legion burned it a few years back. That's how I ended up here. 3 years and counting. If I could just get across the river, I'd be free. Not that I'd try it. I've seen what happens when you get caught. We're property. If you're too young or too old, the men usually leave you alone. Usually. All right. The Legate is not a man to be crossed, especially if you're a woman. That's all I'll talk about it. Okay.
I'm looking forward to getting sent across the river.
You here to fight in the arena? Then you're talking to the right man. Such as? Light armor and machetes only. The challenger, the one who asks to enter the arena, may be pitted against 1 or more opponents. All matches continue until one side is dead. No exceptions. I set up the fights, keep track of prisoners available, and make sure the arena's cleaned up. Most of the time, it's some young legionary trying to make a name for himself, hoping to get noticed by Caesar or the Praetorians. We pit slaves or prisoners against each other once in a while, but it's not much of a show. They're usually too reluctant to kill each other. Like what? A great warrior. When he was but a recruit, I watched him kill 10 men in the arena with his bare hands. He doesn't feel pain, and he never ever shows mercy. If all legionaries were like him, the Legion would be invincible. That can be arranged. You will be facing off against a couple of disobedient slaves. Not much of a challenge, but it might be entertaining to watch. Remember the rules. Light armor and machetes only. And, of course, to the death. Good luck.
Hey! Ugh. You pushed me too far. Damn! I'm hit. Ah!
As expected, it wasn't much of a fight, but what can you expect from slaves? There's a captured NCR trooper available, Sergeant Andrews. He's already been challenged once and survived, so he should be a worthy opponent. Careful in there. He's tougher than he looks.
Hey!
Damn! A good fight. Some NCR troopers can be competent fighters. I have a dangerous one for you. An NCR ranger by the name of Stella. We got lucky since we rarely capture rangers alive. Even though she's a woman, she's killed every man who's faced her in the arena. Even one of the elite Kenturians. With her bare hands. Watch out for her. She's one of the deadliest fighters I've ever seen.
Found you! You like that?
They hardly even know how to fight.
You like that?
They hardly even know how to fight.
Yeah! Damn! Damn! I'm hit!
They hardly even know how to fight.
Get some!
Unbelievable. You stood against a ranger in single combat and survived. It's not something we like to speak of. The Burned Man was our greatest warrior, even greater than Legate Lanius. But he failed Caesar at the dam. He's been dead for several years now. But the rumor is that Caesar has scouts out looking for him all the same. The Burned Man was a very tough man. Go. The mechanical dog you have with you. Where did you get it? Oh? Such things are common in Denver, but I didn't know that other cities had them as well. I ask because Caesar once had a similar pet, but it was lost during a battle. Lupa. Yes, she's the mother of a lot of our best dogs. She's getting old, but she's still a tough old bitch. Aren't you, girl? Yeah. Cyberdog? Like the ones I've seen up in Denver? I know what you're talking about, and it would make Lupa immortal, in a way. You give Lupa a worthy death in the arena, and her brain is yours. Don't let your guard down just because she's old, though.
Oh, and standard arena rules still apply. You don't get to wear armor, and you get only a machete for a weapon. All right. You've been a good dog, Lupa. Die well, girl.
Let them fight it out among themselves. Let them fight it out among themselves. They hardly even know how to fight.
I can't talk to you. It's not allowed. I help take care of the Brahmin. I sometimes bring water and food to people. That's it. I guess that's okay. If you're a friend, can you help me? Anthony took Sergeant Teddy away and gave him to the stinky dogs. I want him back. Anthony said he was punishing me for trying to hide it from the Legion. Thanks.
What? This stupid girl should know by now that even the rags on her back are a privilege. Anyway, my mongrels like their new toy. Tell you what, you square off with 4 of my best dogs. No armor and no weapons except a machete. You survive, and I let you have the bear. Yeah, I guess you're right. Here.
True.
Hi. That's okay. I'll fix him. Can I have him now? Thank you. See you.
Is there something else I can do for you? Very well. Show me what you brought so that I can analyze its potential. Let's take a look. Exceptional synapse responses. Descended from some type of cattle dog, I imagine. If you want me to transplant this brain into Rex, he'll become more durable. Have a seat. This will take a while.
Feel it.
Why, Rexy, you look all better, boy. Good as new. Did my Rexy get a new brain? You're a man of your word, no doubt about it. Can't thank you enough. If you want, hold on to Rex for a little while longer. I'm sure he'd enjoy that. Was there anything else you wanted?
It looks like you took care of our short-term supply issues. In thanks, you can have a discount on medical services with me. Also, I would like to extend an invitation to join the followers of the Apocalypse. Your work here in the old Mormon fort has been invaluable, and I can't think of a more worthy recruit. Will you join us? Our aim is to gradually shape a better, brighter future for the wasteland. We seek to heal the planet through efforts not unlike the medicine and education we offer here in the old Mormon fort. All we ask is members and those seeking aid do their best to help those in need when the opportunity arises. Excellent! The followers' mission will be better served with someone like yourself traveling around the Mojave. As a representative of the followers, I present you with your very own lab coat. Wear it well, and may it aid our cause. Also, before I forget, Here's a key to a safe house you can use to rest if you happen to be in the area. I'll just mark it on your map.
It is a great honor for anyone outside the Legion to get an audience with Caesar. He's the best warrior in the Legion. A full legionary by the time he was 12, he's never lost a battle. Had the Legate been in command during the Battle of Hoover Dam, the Legion would have won. I have no doubt about that. No, Legate Lanius is Caesar's second. The Legate replaced the Burned Man after the Legion's defeat at the dam several years ago. The Burned Man was Caesar's advisor and general when the Legion was originally formed. The Burned Man led us to a disastrous defeat at the dam. On Caesar's orders, the Burned Man was covered in pitch by the Praetorian Guard, lit on fire, and cast into the Grand Canyon. Caesar has forbidden us from ever speaking his true name again, and so we simply refer to him as the Burned Man. It's a tradition in the Praetorians to specialize in unarmed combat, because weapons can break or jam when needed most. However, our unarmed techniques favor offense over defense. We can charge the enemy and flatten him with our first strike before he can react. We recently obtained an artillery weapon, but we don't have the part or the skill to fix it. The trader Dale Barton salvaged it from a military base in Arizona. Yuma, I believe. The best marksmen of the NCR are usually at the rear of any battle. The gun will allow us to strike at them. The tribe calling themselves the Boomers is obsessed with such weapons, I've been told. You can probably find a spare firing mechanism there.
Hello, friend. How can Mother Pearl be of help today? You may find one in the workshop. You're a friend to the tribe, so I trust it will not find its way into the wrong hands. See ya.
Yes. Do you have something to report? Well done. It will be very useful in the coming battle against the snipers the NCR will no doubt have hidden in the hills near the dam.
Was there more for us to discuss? To call Lanius ferocious would be an understatement. In battle, he seizes the enemy in his jaws and will not let go. He thinks nothing of suffering losses, so long as the enemy suffers more. Though unsubtle, he is not dim. He detects traps and sets his own. Be glad you will not have to face his judgment. If you are true to Caesar. Ah, yes. We are forbidden from speaking his true name. He was a shaman of some kind before he met Caesar, a holy man from out of the Utah. The Burned Man proved dangerous, unpredictable, and impossible to kill. He helped Caesar form the Legion, but almost led it to destruction. There's a gambler, Martina Grosbeck, who has a knack for learning other people's secrets and passing that information along for a price. The Omertas, who run Gomorrah, have become suspicious of Martina's frequent visits to their casino. Soon they'll pay her a visit of their own. I prefer to handle these matters through intermediaries, such as yourself. Besides the gratitude of the Legion? Don't worry. You'll be paid in coin or caps. Good. Martina frequents the Vault 21 gift shop on the Strip. Hurry along, and she still may be in one piece by the time you get there.
Come on, time to get lucky.
This ain't your business. Walk off and forget you saw anything. Oh, murder business. Now fuck off or else. Shit. Look, we're just following orders. We, need to take this up with the boss.
You'll get no trouble from me.
Fuck, that's not good.
Thank you. They were going to kill me. I'll be fine. Eventually. I may have overheard some things at Gamora that I passed on to the NCR. That's all. Honest. What? I only talked to Captain Curtis over at McCarran. I would never work at Slavers. Honest. No. Well, not really. I mean, I'm not listening through doors or sneaking around or anything. People talk out loud, and I just pay attention. The NCR likes to keep tabs on the activities of the families, and they pay me good caps to hang around the casinos and keep my ears open. It isn't normally. The NCR wanted me to just gamble and listen, nothing else. Okay. Goodbye.
Ugh.
Excellent. Had you simply killed them, the Omertas would have sent another group after Martina eventually. You've saved me the trouble of coming up with a more permanent solution. And Martina is free to go about her business as usual. Well done. Volare.
How many? A good bit of hunting. Here's your payment. You've proven yourself to be a true friend of the Legion. We have a safe house available to our agents in the Mojave. Here's the key. It's an excellent place to rest and store extra equipment. In addition, one of our veterans, Atticus, visits the house every few days. While he's there, you can acquire items useful for stealthy operations against our enemies from him.